this is Seza from Galaxy Cat Games. This is the first video of many to showcase the nastiest random piles of cards you'll ever see in Commander. We're talking Ramp, Reanimate, Goad, Life Gain, Copy, Tokens, Aristocrat, Combo, Artifact, Attraction, Theft, Spellslinger, Infect, Control, Flicker, and Voltron. Now I know what you're thinking. Seza, that's way too much to fit in one deck. How did you even do anything? Who's the commander? This stud from Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate is Jon Irenicus Shattered One. For a blue, a black, and 2, this elf wizard has, at the beginning of your end step, target opponent gains control of up to one target creature you control. You put 2 1/1 counters on it and tap it. It's goaded for the rest of the game. And this creature gains, it can't be sacrificed. And the icing on the cake is, whenever a creature I own but don't control attacks, I draw a card. I know what you're thinking. I'll give my opponent something bad and just call it a day. You got it all wrong. If you give your opponent something bad, you end up getting 2 other opponents waiting to finish you off before you can even start cooking. Nah, you give him your used toys, because why wouldn't a mad scientist squeeze every little bit of fun from his toys? Now let me show you what it's all about. Starting out, we have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Dimir Signet, Wayfarer's Bauble, Talisman of Dominance, Cold Steel Heart, Felwar Stone, and Thought Vessel. These artifacts round out our mana rocks. Up next we have our equipment, Wand of Orcus, Bitterthorn Mrs. Animus, and Sword of Hearth and Home. What's special about these equipments? They have, when the equipped creature does a thing, I get the trigger, even if I gave away my equipped creature. Now we're moving on to the spicy artifacts. Up here we have Ariet's Tempting Apple, Ghost Vacuum, Expedition Map, the One Ring, and Panharmonicon. We're going to highlight the apple here. It allows us to take a creature until the end of turn. Not only does it have the potential to swing the game, with Jon we can give that creature to someone else. Panharmonicon can double up our ETBs, and the other 3 have insane utility. Up next we have our enchantments. Sitting at 3 enchantments we have Virtue of Knowledge, Rhystic Study, and Life Tap. Okay, hear me out. Life Tap will make way more sense later on. Our instant package in the form of interaction goes to Force of Negation, Mana Drain, Deadly Rollick, Cyclonic Rift, Infernal Grasp, and Reality Shift. Let's get to the spicy instant spells. Over here we have Ghostly Flicker, Mystic Reflection, Theoretical Duplication, Dark Ritual, Sacrifice, and Saw in Half. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Seza, these are just some pretty cards. Where's the spice? Where's the real tech? I think you'll start to see it in the sorceries. First up, we have Breach the Multiverse, Coiling Rebirth, Season of Weaving, Irenicus' Vile Duplication, Come Back Wrong, Step Right Up, and Command Performance. Oh yeah, they are Commander legal. The top 4 cards are self-explanatory. We have a reanimation package and a way to copy creatures. Come Back Wrong here lets us destroy a creature and bring it back on our side of the board. At the end of turn, we have to sacrifice it. Jon's ability allows us to give the creature away before sacrificing it. We can use it to our advantage by taking some opponent's cool creatures, use it on our donated creatures to retrigger their ETBs, or give someone's commander to another player. In some cases, we'll even hit our own board with it. We'll talk about those other 2 spells in a bit. So the creatures are what tied this deck together. Once I'm done, you might get a better understanding of this madness. I'm going to be splitting it into 5 categories: double ups, interaction, value, threats, and the mad jank. First up in our double up category, we have Fairy Artisans, Sakashima the Imposter, Flesh Duplicate, Mocking Doppelganger, and Clever Impersonator. Fairy Artisans is here because of its constant value. If you ever find yourself in a position where you want to keep the token you made, you can either blink or remove the artisan so it forgets it made the token. Sakashima the Imposter can come in as a copy of any creature keeping his own name. This gets us through the legendary rule, and he can also bounce himself back to hand at the end of turn, allowing repeated value in copying anything on the board. Flesh Duplicate is a 2-mana copy that gains Vanishing 3. It gets 3 time counters that are removed on upkeep. Once the 3rd is removed, sacrifice it. If we were to donate it with Jon, on the other hand, it can't be sacrificed. Mocking Doppelganger is a copy with Flash that goes anything with the same name of what it copies. Clever Impersonator lets you copy any non-land permanent. We're moving on to our interaction creatures. Here we have Massacre Girl, Massacre Worm, Agent of Treachery, Volatile Stormdrake, and Ravenous Chupacabra. These creatures are able to interact with our opponent's board through board wipes, targeted removal, and theft. With all of our previous pieces, we're able to reuse these creatures' effects through various methods. Our value creatures will have various effects to secure our game plan. These creatures are Baleful Strix, Thundertrap Trainer, Archaeomancer, Urza Lord High Artificer, Peregrine Drake, Scholar of the Ages, and Hoarding Broodlord. Baleful Strix and Thundertrap Trainer help us dig into our deck to find a spice. Scholar of the Ages and Archaeomancer help us bring back that spice. Urza and Peregrine Drake not only help us generate mana to play the spice, they also give us a creature to give away and generate even more value. Hoarding Broodlord is one of our win conditions. We can use it to find any card and establish a win, finding whatever card we need at that moment. We have 3 creatures in the threat category. Hey, every game's gotta end, right? These creatures are Roaming Throne, Blighted Agent, and Skithiryx the Blight Dragon. Skittles and Blighted Agent can accelerate and end a game. With a little bit of politicking and Jon's ability, we can take out problematic players. Secretly though, we are the threat. There's no one creature type we're targeting with Roaming Throne. You know, Employee might be a good one. This madman does need some assistance. We're going to be hiring Deadbeat Attendant, Seasoned Buttoneer, DK Finder of the Lost, Discourtesy Clerk, and Monitor. That's right everyone, these are our main attractions. Each one of these creatures enters and opens an attraction. This mechanic was introduced in the Unfinity set. The ones without an acorn are Commander legal. An attraction deck is separate from your deck. There can't be more than one with the same name, and an attraction deck has a minimum of 10 cards with no maximum. They are 0 mana artifacts with a number on the side here. At the beginning of your first main phase, you roll a 6-sided dice. If the number rolled matches the number on any attraction, you get to visit it and do whatever the card says. It's a game of chance. If you roll a 1, you visit no attractions. A 6 lands on every attraction. Any number in between will only apply to the lit up numbers. One roll counts for all attractions. We are using 21 of the 22 available attraction cards. When an attraction gets destroyed, it goes to the junk bin and can no longer be used. It's not the last of our spice. We're going to be going through some lands, and then we're going to be talking about combos. We have 4 MDFC cards. They are Glasspool Mimic, Hydroelectric Specimen, Malakir Rebirth, and Sink into Stupor. They help fill in our niche and can be played as a land if needed. Alright, these are our utility lands. I'll explain them as a pair or one by one. These lands are very important to our game plan. Otawara, Soaring City, and Bajuka Bog are both used as interaction pieces, either by interacting with our opponent's board or graveyard. Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth and Cabal Coffers are a common way to generate a lot of black mana, synergizing well with ways to untap or flicker them. Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. Yes, this land has no color identity. It's usable in this deck, and it turns all lands into forests in addition to their other types. Yes, this is very useful for us. Not only does it synergize with our previously mentioned Life Tap enchantment, we will have situations where we copy a creature with an effect that requires green mana to activate. Homeward Path. This card allows us to take back all of the toys that we've given out. We can activate it to take everything back so we can play with it more, or just swing for lethal. We're going to find all of these lands with Talaria West, Urza's Cave, and Urza's Saga. Urza's Saga lets us create a construct that we can donate with Jon, or find Expedition Map, Ghost Vacuum, Wayfarer's Bauble, or Soul Ring. The Expedition Map is the main target. It lets us find the Homeward Path or any other utility land we're looking for. The rest of the lands are there for color fixing or generic islands and swamps. The deck list will be featured in the description. Before we get into the combos, I want to thank anyone that has stuck around. If you liked the video, please give us a like and share. We're just getting into this, so every like and comment means so much to us. Okay, let's get started with the combos and synergies. First, we're going to talk about Skithiryx the Blight Dragon and the reason why he's in the deck. For 1 black mana, Skittles can give itself haste. You can swing at the problematic player, give it away with Jon, and with 2/1/1 counters and goad, your opponent can swing at that player, finishing them off. I would advise only doing this when you have a way to either take back Skittles or take it away completely. The next card I'm going to talk about is Scholar of the Ages. This card lets you bring back 2 instant or sorceries from your graveyard. You can use it to bring back cards like Ghostly Flicker, Coiling Rebirth, or Sacrifice. If you add Peregrine Drake with Ghostly Flicker, you can get infinite mana. You can choose any other instant or sorcery in your graveyard, and then cast that as many times as you'd like. You can do a similar loop with Coiling Rebirth and Sacrifice. By sacrificing Scholar, you can cast Coiling Rebirth over and over again, gifting your opponents cards until they draw out their entire deck. If you don't want your opponent to draw into any interaction, you can just use the loop for mana. We don't intend to go infinite every game. It's just there if we need it, and we can use it if we got it. You can achieve similar results with Archaeomancer and any effect doubler. If you find yourself with Hoarding Broodlord and you don't know what to find with it, here's a simple combo that you can do. You search for Saw in Half and cast it on Hoarding Broodlord. You then find Breach the Multiverse and Sacrifice. You sacrifice one of the Broodlord tokens, getting you 8 mana to cast Breach the Multiverse. From there, you can play with anything in your opponent's graveyards, or your own, or recast Hoarding Broodlord to find something else. Jon Irenicus defines creativity and madness. In one game, you can have an army of Ogre Tax generating 81 Badgers from a green sleeves you stole, or become the definition of a Boros deck by swinging in with an Aurelia after visiting the swinging ship. You can have 15 zombies with horsemanship on a merry-go-round, or 30-30 Jon with flying. You can make friends or enemies, and best of all, you get to play the most unique games of Magic with the most amazing people. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.